So I used to think that I could never combine medicine and business together, and I had to sacrifice one of them to really understand the other. But then when I started my journey of the alternative routes of healthcare, I came across health tech. And as you know, a lot of health tech founders need funding. And where exactly do they get that funding from? And that's when I came across venture capital. And it's probably been one of the reasons why I did not leave medicine. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how venture capital secretly innovates medicine, the ethical dilemma behind private investors investing into something like healthcare, and why you should care if you are a doctor or a founder or an investor when it comes to venture capital. So let's get straight into it. What exactly is venture capital? Now, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you know I've been talking about VC for a very long time, especially because I completed the London Venture Capital Network Fellowship recently. What VC actually is, so venture capital, is basically putting in a certain amount of money into a new idea. And the reason we do that is because the founder probably doesn't have the means, so the money, to be able to invent this idea and develop it as time goes on. So that's what VC does. It kind of injects this money into this idea, and because the idea is so new and it might not work, there is a lot of risk attached to it. But with that high risk, there is actually higher rewards if the idea takes off. Because of its high risk, high reward nature, VC money moves really, really fast. So unlike kind of traditional research, medical research that's funded by the government or universities, VC money moves really, really fast. And what that has meant is that there's been significant breakthroughs in biotechnology, in medical devices, in digital health. And one of the main examples has been the Moderna COVID vaccine. A lot of VC money was put into that, and I'm sure whoever invested in that vaccine at that point has probably benefited quite a bit. That's one of the charms of VC. But when the idea initially comes about, the share price is very low. And as time goes on, more investors start putting in money, and you're hoping that the product is being used by consumers and therefore they are paying for the product. The price of the shares go up. And when they go up, and the startup exits, then the share price at that point would be significantly higher than that at which you would have bought it at, which means you make a lot of profit. One thing I really want to touch upon, and why again you should care as a doctor, is it right for private investors who essentially are in it to make profit to invest in something like healthcare? Healthcare is, you're trying to improve the lives of others. You can't move too fast because there is patient safety that you really need to think about. And mistakes can be made. For example, there was a startup called Theranos which raised approximately $700 million, and it claimed to have a lot of tests from a single pinprick, to my knowledge. And it failed because a lot of fraudulent claims were made and a lot of VC money was lost. And that's why it's super, super important for people that are qualified in healthcare to be involved in something like venture capital. And that's exactly why I didn't leave medicine and I continued on this journey, having clinical medicine on the side, but also taking part in venture capital. And this is how you can get involved as a doctor. How does venture capital impact doctors directly? Doctors nowadays are using lots of innovations that have been created in the last 5 to 10 years. Okay, telemedicine is a big example. Digital health is another example. Who do you think made those startups? People that were doctors themselves? Sometimes doctors create those startups. Sometimes it's people that have zero knowledge about healthcare, who then create products that might not even be of use on the shop floor. So you can either start a startup yourself, you can advise startups by using your skills in healthcare and medicine, You can invest in startups, and then you can also get involved in venture capital. What I really want to do on this channel is show you how to do it. So to wrap up, venture capital is shaping the future of medicine, for better or for worse. It's funding the biggest breakthroughs, but it's also raising ethical concerns. And as a doctor, you do have a choice. You can get involved, or you can be on the sidelines and watch it happen. But considering everything that's going on in the healthcare space, especially in the UK at the moment, I think a lot of people are looking for alternative options, and this is one of them. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I've said so far. Do you think private investors should invest into healthcare? What other ethical concerns are there? And what are the kinds of things that you might want to hear about in terms of VC? See you next time. Bye.